Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, just can't get enough of Judge Cannon. She made a ruling today basically saying that she wants to have additional hearings on the Trump's Mar-a-Lago documents case. And she denies that these hearings will delay the court case. Well, yeah, I guess she's factually correct because you'd have to have a court date set and then have these hearings and see if those hearings would cause you to change that court date. So if you don't have a court date set, then you can't really delay anything because no time has been set. Quoting her, in her 11-page order on Thursday, there's a difference between a resource-wasting and delay-producing, quote-unquote, mini-trial, on the one hand, and an evidentiary hearing geared to adjudicating the contested factual and legal issues on a given pretrial motion to suppress. This is all about Trump's team trying to suppress items seized by the FBI. Specifically, Trump's lawyers say they believe the wording used in the search warrant to authorize agents to seize, quote, national defense information, unquote, and, quote, presidential records, unquote, wasn't specific enough. And Judge Cannon agreed there's some ambiguities there. The court determined that some of the terms in the document do not carry generally understood meanings, such that law enforcement agents, without further clarification, would know to identify such material as seizable property. Further factual development is warranted related to defendant Trump's particularity challenge. As you might imagine, the prosecutor is saying, this is ridiculous. You don't need to do this. But Judge Cannon can't be told what to do. And she will never be told what to do. Additionally, she's trying to look at decisions that were made that required Evan Corcoran to testify against Donald Trump because Trump tried to involve Evan Corcoran in a conspiracy that pierced the attorney-client privilege, and Corcoran testified at grand jury hearings, and now Team Trump is trying to get those grand jury testimonies, I believe, tossed out. Never a dull moment with this woman. I know some of you have been asking to read on her husband. It's going to require more research than I'm willing to put in at this very moment. But for entertainment purposes only, because apparently I can't go a week without reading on Judge Cannon, let's read on Judge Cannon. Again, entertainment purpose only. What the heck is going on with this case and her latest delay hearings? Four of Cups. This judge is never satisfied, and I mean never satisfied from a prosecutorial point of view. It's almost like, well, there you go. It's almost like that. I was about to say, it's almost like she doesn't understand the process to the point that she has ridiculously rudimentary orders that she gives so that she has an opportunity to better understand. It's like she doesn't understand what she's doing, and rather than admit that she doesn't understand what she's doing, she's trying to push things backwards and dig down and simplify till you get what was an idea broken down into its individual components, and then she wants to sample each of the individual components to the point where she understands. Now, a seasoned judge would have understood this whole thing, have moved past this months ago. But she's not a seasoned judge. She doesn't know what she's doing. So rather than admit that, she is trying to pass it off as she's being really meticulous in revisiting everything. It's like being, I don't know, like being in an algebra class, but you don't know how to really do arithmetic. So instead of saying you don't know how to do an algebra problem, you're trying to force things back into individual little components till you get into small enough bite-sized pieces that you can understand that little bit. And then you take that little bit and you go to the next thing, so the bit gets bigger. It literally is like she's trying to learn how to do this on the job, when this is the reason why she should never have been appointed. She doesn't know what she's doing. Oh, and by the way, she's in league with the devil. And she's all tied to Trump. All this stuff helps Trump out. Now, I'm being very kind, if you want to believe that, when I say she doesn't know what she's doing. Otherwise, she is purposely slowing everything down to a crawl, which I wouldn't doubt either. It's certainly everything she's doing is in service of Trump. What's crossing this? Two of Swords. Yep. She has to break things down into simple pieces so she can make up her mind that what she's doing is right. That's on the least corrupt front. So you have a choice. She's entirely and completely and utterly incompetent in this case, or she's so in bed with Trump that she has to act like she's completely and utterly incompetent in this case. Hell of a choice. Trump benefits from both. In the past, temperance, patience, integration, detoxification. I think she has slowed this case down to an this water's pretty much frozen. You know, if you ever watch a waterfall freeze in the wintertime, that's what she's managed to do with this case. This case was cut and dry. It should have flowed nicely, and she has frozen it solid with indecision. I need more information. I need more hearings. I don't know how to rule, because at one small mistake within her ruling gets this case appealed and it gets tossed out, just like her special master failure. So that's the other part, where she's incompetent, she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's terrified of being shown to be wrong again. Oh, and that also serves Trump, by the way, too. And that's the best case scenario. Current situation is the Hierophant. Honestly, I think at this point, her judgeship is in some jeopardy. Now, I know these are lifetime appointments, but there are ways to remove judges. I don't know them personally. I believe I've heard that Congress could probably vote somebody out, or the Senate could vote somebody out. I'm not sure how you would do that. Maybe I could look that up and find out. Hang on for a second. And there's your answer. Federal judges can only be removed through impeachment by the House of Representatives and conviction in the Senate. Judges and justices serve no fixed term. They serve until their death, retirement, or conviction by the Senate. So, it's going to take an act of Congress. And it takes 2/3 of the Senate to remove from office. So, this would be a difficult thing, unless some law gets passed that could probably get her out on a technicality, like she was never qualified, therefore she can't be a judge. I don't know how that would work. Okay, so here we go. So, but this is going to impact the judicial. It's obviously impacting the court system. It's impacting the government. And this is building a case against her about even being a federal judge in the first place. The overarching energy is the Knight of Pentacles. This is your values. This is the mercenary card. On the lower energy, is she being paid to be in league with Trump and delay things with Trump? That's entirely possible. At the best case scenario, that she's just merely incompetent. It's just her trying to get things right, trying to understand what's going on in this case. It's like, it's not even offering a tribute. It's just, they don't know. She doesn't know what she's doing. The lesson to be learned is the justice card. Remember when at the last reading I did, it said there were 2 justices that were reaching out to her, offering to take the case away from her and take it to Miami because they already had a skiff built there and you wouldn't need to build a new one. It would save the taxpayers money and it made sense. And she said, no, this is my case. I think that the appeals court will probably include that information if and when Jack Smith is finally able to appeal this case. Justice is coming, and I don't think this is Judge Cannon ruling on this case anytime soon. I think this is justice coming for Aileen Cannon. Out comes the strength card. This is about strength and mastery. Again, her best case scenario is she's incompetent. I do not see her going through this process and building a stronger case. What I see is somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, and it would take strength of character to admit it at this point and step down. Character that I do not believe she possesses. She's certainly not doing anything that's advancing the law. So this case might be forcibly removed from her because she's a really, really weak judge. But you know what? Again, all she has to do is have this case last another 4 months. And by that point, the elections are right on our doorstep, and she's delayed the case for Trump such that he will not have to face the Mar-a-Lago documents case prior to the election, nor should anybody expect that he will face justice or even a court date for the Mar-a-Lago documents case prior to the election. Judge Cannon has done her job well. Trump's lawyers. Highly respected Judge Aileen Cannon has rightfully scheduled hearings on the unconstitutional piercing of President Trump's attorney-client privilege and the illegal raid on Mar-a-Lago by crooked Joe Biden's DOJ, said Trump campaign spokesman Stephen Chung. The entire documents case was a political sham from the very beginning, and it should be thrown out entirely. Have you ever wanted somebody to plant evidence on somebody and then watch them suffer the consequences for something they didn't do? Okay, that's really low energy stuff. Sorry to even throw that out there. But it's just like, campaign spokesmen don't have to tell the truth. That would be a really neat, and somebody was throwing that out there. I think somebody had an idea of 5 ways to fix Congress. I don't know if any of the ways would work, but one of them was if somebody in the government says a statement to reporters, they have to treat it like they're under oath. So if they lie, they can be, found guilty of perjury or something along those lines. Force them to tell the truth as opposed to lying. Okay, but I'm getting a field here. So it looks like Judge Cannon either doesn't know what she's doing, or she is purposely slowing things down yet again. Okay. What else do I want to throw on this one? Okay, I had to think of a question here. So, when she has her next hearing, after all this is said and done, there's 2 things going on. She has another hearing about the gag order, where she wants both sides to put in one filing, allowing one more filing, so she can make her decision. So will she, after this filing, and then I'm sure yelling at the prosecution for, double spacing after periods or something like that, how will she rule on the gag order? And then we'll follow up on the Mar-a-Lago documents case. A little 4-carder on it. I don't think we need anything bigger than that. Ace of Wands. Well, she's going to take a stick to somebody. Hasn't really shown it taking a stick to Trump. Page of Wands. Okay, you guys, make your best call. There's the Burden card. King of Cups. Two of Wands. I've been waiting for this card to show up, but it's not for this reading. Yeah, she'll make her decision, but it's not going to be right away. She's going to take her time on it. I think at the very least, she might give a warning to Donald Trump and his team to be very careful about the things they say. You know, you're a former president. You shouldn't be putting law enforcement's lives in danger. I also think that she's going to say that the government hasn't met the burden of proof to shut down Donald Trump. And Donald Trump should be allowed to speak up because he's got a First Amendment right to criticize the FBI when he's debating Joe Biden. So I don't think she's going to make her ruling anytime soon. She's certainly not going to gag him anytime soon. She might gag him, but that's a ways away. There's the comment I was making about the Two of Wands. Is this what's shown up with the two legal specialists that left her? And I got their job title wrong here. The legal assistants that left her office. This is my card for that. Yeah, I don't think that's related. I just think she's going to delay her ruling. She's not going to rule on the gag order anytime soon. And if she does order on it, I'm going to bet dollars to donuts that she's going to say, there's no need for a gag order. Government didn't meet their burden of proof. And the harm to gagging Donald Trump in his First Amendment rights when he's running for president and debating is way greater than the lives of an FBI person. Because of some rhetoric that he says. That's kind of what I get from that. And I feel sick to my stomach even saying that, verbalizing that. That's what you get when you deal with this person. Hey, we have a black cat here. Hello. Nico and the kitten have been wrestling around, so now he's going to come chillax over here, which is, at least he's better in the chair than up here, and I can't read the cards. He's already jumped up on my desk a couple of times today. Back there when I'm trying to work. Actually, I had both cats on there today. So for those who... He was plopped down lounging like he is now. Pay attention to me because he woke up from a nap. And then 2 minutes later, the kitten came upstairs like, oh, you're up there? I'll go up there too. What's there to see? Let me look out the window over here. Is there something interesting over there? All I can say is none of my dogs ever jumped up on my desk. They might lay their head on my lap to get pet. They didn't actually block what I was doing. All right. Yes, the Mar-a-Lago documents case. Will she toss out, after her hearings and such, is she going to rule to limit some of the... Is she going to toss out some of the evidence? Will she rule in Trump's favor and toss out evidence? Yes. This is typically a no card, but in the context of the reading, this is a yes card. You know, underneath, being beholden to Trump and making all the wrong choices that only seem to benefit one person. And that person isn't the people of the United States. Crossed by heartbreak and betrayal. I don't think she's going to heartbreak and betray Trump. I think she is going to get rid of some evidence. And I think specifically, because this article called it out, she's going to get rid of the evidence of Evan Corcoran's testimony and things related to that. Because I'm going to say that she says they pierced the attorney-client privilege illegally. She doesn't agree with that, so she won't allow for that evidence to come in. Even though this is grand jury stuff, decided in another courtroom. That, by the way, will be appealed in a second. Yeah, there's her messaging too. Go pound sand. you guys did it wrong. Maybe you need to take it back to the grand jury and rethink this thing. It's going to be, underneath it, the messaging about actions being taken against, you got the devil in the betrayal card. This is not a great start for her. In the past, we got the Wheel of Fortune. This case has been like a car in neutral, spinning, just idling, waiting for something to happen. She's been delaying it. This would be the ultimate delay tactic. Kicking out some evidence to the point where, maybe the government drops the charges because they want those charges on it. Alternatively, it could force a change of venue. Maybe the government stops on this and then goes to Bedminster for the stuff they found in Bedminster and bring it to a court in New York rather than Florida, because apparently Florida is the corruption capital of the world. And I can only imagine that Ken Paxton and Greg Abbott are really, really upset that they've been knocked off the top pier by Judge Aileen Cannon in Florida. In her ruling about this, we got the King of Pentacles. She's going to rule in Donald Trump's favor. She's going to say that they took things that were his that they shouldn't have been taking. That the search warrant was too vague, too broad. Maybe we should have a complete new hearing and a new grand jury on the stuff that they found. I don't know how this works. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know a damn thing of what I'm talking about. But I'm just trying to figure out what these cards mean. The overarching energy is the Magician. She really is trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat. She's trying to create an illusion, muddy the waters, obscure what's going on. Just everything that she can do to help Donald Trump and such. The lesson to be learned: this is going to be her power move, but this is also her weakness. This is where the rubber hits the road, is with this decision. At this point, again, if she kicks things out, it's going to be appealed. And again, this case will be delayed beyond the election. That's inevitable at this point. Now, all that really matters is, can you get her impeached for complete and utter incompetence? The outcome is the Seven of Coins. It's the reevaluation of things. Yeah, she's going to do something that you have to reevaluate pretty much all the evidence that's been seized, because it covers everything that was seized at Mar-a-Lago. All the information was based on that search warrant. And now it all needs to be reevaluated. This is like, playing Candyland and being sent all the way back to the beginning. Or at least you're near the end and it sends you back to Plumpy. And you have to start all the way at the beginning again. Rest assured that if she does that, it will be appealed. She will be removed. It will be overturned. She will be removed from the case. Things will go forward. It will be after the election. Donald Trump may not even be in the country. Be tried in absentia. Maybe he'll phone in via Zoom. But he sure as hell won't be in the United States when this information comes out. If he can avoid it, that is. While we're here, 24 minutes into this, shall we look, due to her, okay, let's how we phrase this. As a result of her management of the Mar-a-Lago documents case and her 2 times managing of Donald Trump, will Judge Aileen Cannon, be impeached from her federal judgeship? Will Judge Aileen Cannon be removed as a federal judge as a result of this case? I should go a little further. Will she be removed as a federal judge as a result of this case or due to, her relationship with Donald Trump? Did he get paid? Did you get bribed? The Heritage Foundation putting stuff. But that would be all related to this case. That's a very good start. Well, whether or not she's removed, what we're going to find out is the truth. We're going to find out the truth about her and what she's done. So that's going to be exposed. And that, in some ways, is more important than her being removed because, if you want to know, maybe she's innocent. Maybe she's just completely and utterly incompetent. Maybe they'll start federal traffic court or something like that. She would be excellent as a parking ticket federal judge. Hello. How you doing, Elle? Yeah? You happy girl? I was doing a reading here. You know that? You going to go purr in the microphone so people can hear your loud purr? Yes, it's a lovely microphone, isn't it? I like it too. Hopefully I still have sound coming out of it now that you've knocked it around. You silly girl. Hey, I'm trying to work here. Me, working. Me, reading cards. You, naughty kitty. Okay, here we go. Put you down there. Let me check my microphone real quick. She's biting at my mouse. Leave the mice alone. I know you're a cat. Look at the mouse. Don't you want to get it hurt? Okay, you're being a naughty tory. Down you go. Okay, she's down there. She's doing cat things on the cat tree. Okay, so where were we? Oh, yes. Sun card. This is a cat, and she's back. We're going to find out what's going on. And because for God's sake. Come on. Could you let go, please? Oh, dear God. Pausing again. God, I managed to put everything back the way it was. We're going to find out the truth about her. Decisions will be made about the facts found. There's going to be cases. There's going to be fighting arguing about this person's actions. Whether it's the appeals court knocking her down or reassignment, or I don't know how this all works, but there's going to be issues with this. Absolutely are going to be issues. This will happen after she's off this case, whether it's because she sees it to its completion or she's been removed. But people are just going to look at her performance and just like, this is one of the most disappointing performances we've ever seen as a federal judge ever. Not that you got everything wrong, but boy, the stuff that you got wrong, man, those were doozies. And the fact that you were offered to have this case taken from you and you refused to do it, and I'll be wildly curious to hear her defend herself. She will try to defend herself, by the way. That's what this card's saying. Underneath it all, she will defend herself. I would be curious to hear her logic for taking a case that she had no business taking at great taxpayer expense. At the very minimum, it's ego. The current situation when they... with the secrets are going to be revealed. We've got the Sun card at the foundation. There are secrets that will be revealed over time with regards to this case. And then she's going to have to explain her behaviors. And this disappointment's going to be with regards to these secrets that have been revealed. I think the facts, the revelations that come from this are going to explain the odd decisions that she's made. Or she's going to try and defend the indefensible, and it's going to look terrible on her. She's not in a good place. She will not be in a good place when this is done. The lesson to be learned is the King of Cups. Immature. Just immature person. Doesn't know what they're doing. Should never, they were way, they're a page and they were acting like a king. They were way out of their league. Completely out of their lane in this one. And again, what you might find out it was her ambition to be a Supreme Court justice or the Attorney General of the United States or something like that. That's what she was dreaming of, but that was just a dream. You don't know what you're doing. You're lucky that you're not sent to the federal version of traffic court and spending the rest of your career there. Out comes the Page of Swords. Look at all these pages. This might go to Congress. She might very well be knocked down all the way to a page status. Like, I don't know if this could lead to disbarment, and if she's disbarred, she can't be a federal judge. But they are going to knock her down to size. This is like having to start all over again. So she will pay a price for this. That's coming. It will not impact this election. I'm sad to say. Not that it really matters, would it? The MAGA folks aren't going to care. They're going to vote for Trump anyways. We already know who she is, so we're not letting her get in the way of our votes. For independents and stuff like that, most of them said they wouldn't vote for a president who has felonies. That's already been shown in the New York criminal case. So would the Mar-a-Lago documents case make a difference? Only in that Trump could be arrested as for treason or something along those lines, and somehow maybe be branded an insurrectionist or something like that. Honestly, could you have a person who's selling U.S. secrets or doing that with U.S. secrets be the president of the United States with full access to secrets? It's like, would that be like taking a drunk driver and letting him run a bar give people rides from bar to bar as an Uber driver or something? It's ridiculous. You can't possibly put somebody like that in a position where they have unfettered access to state secrets because they can't be trusted. So Judge Cannon will get her day in court, but it's going to be off in the distance for a bit. All right, let's end it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so this video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering the channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. Hope you found this reading insightful, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.